Hey there, everybody. This is Pastor Charlie. I'm here with a midweek reflection for you. And I wanted to reflect a little bit on the events that took place last week here on campus. We had our very first Gathering in Gratitude Fall Festival. Now, those of you with a long enough memory will know that it's not our very first fall festival, but it's the very first one that has been focused in on our mission partnerships in this local community, giving many partner organizations the opportunity just to talk to people about their work. It was wonderful to highlight those partnerships, highlight the amazing work that takes place in our community, and from a more personal perspective here at Memorial, it was just amazing to see our whole team of volunteers come together at the leadership level to plan and make arrangements for how this would work on our campus, and then for people to show up and set up, to take down later on in the day, to be a part of all of the activity that was going on for the several hours that the festival was taking place. It was just a model of how a church ought to work together, first and foremost, but also how it should be connected into its wider community. And the feedback from our partner mission organizations was outstanding. They just really enjoyed the opportunity to get in front of people and to talk about the good work that they are doing. You know, we've been moving through this 3-week series of sermons on Sunday mornings. 2 weeks ago, I started with a sermon on what it is to turn down the noise and to find that quiet space of connection with God. And I hope that I hope that all of you actually have been working out just what that looks like in your lives. I have shared my own methods for that. Maybe you have found your own methods and you're sharing them with each other as well. But the most important thing is that we learn how to quieten ourselves with intention before the God who is close to us. On Sunday past, Pastor Rachel talked about turning off the screens, turning off the distractions of our lives, right? And how these screens really are and can be a distraction. And the instruction was not to cancel them out completely. Of course, we need them for work. I value them greatly for just staying in touch with people back home where I come from. So there's a good use for these screens. But being mindful of how much time we're giving to them and being mindful of how distracting that can be from keeping the main thing, that was the point that Pastor Rachel was trying to make. All of this, turning down the noise, turning off the screens, is building towards a sermon that I'm going to preach this coming Sunday morning on what it is to not only turn down the distractions of our lives, but to actually turn towards each other. We say it often, and I never hear anybody disagree with me when we say that it just seems like we move further apart from each other in these times. And so therefore, one of the witnesses and one of the ministries of those who follow Christ ought to be to do the work of Christ by moving closer together. This week we're going to be learning that Christ stretched across boundaries, the boundaries that were put in place in his time, boundaries of culture, boundaries of gender, all these boundaries, these reasons that Jesus should not stretch across the line, and he defies them in order to move closer to the other. It is a powerful witness into our lives, and it is a powerful call that can change our own lives, of course, but can change the life of a whole community. When neighbours look at neighbours as those who are to be moved closer to, not stayed away from. So I hope that you'll check in this coming Sunday, whether you're doing that digitally or whether you're doing that in person. I hope that you will come prepared. Bring your Bibles to church, because we're going to dive into a passage in John's Gospel that will be really good for you to follow along and underline some things in your Bibles as we go through. And what it will be building to is this call not only to turn down the noise and turn off the screens, but to turn towards each other. I hope we'll see you there.